YouTube, I just wanted to do an update video on my 2003 Mercedes E500. I've seen a few comments asking if I still have the car, so I figured I would do a video and just walk around and update on things I've done to the car and current condition. It is dirty, so please excuse that. I haven't been able to wash it. It's in storage right now, not being daily driven any longer, so it's a little dirty, and it just rained. So you can see coming around, we'll start at the front. This bumper has been replaced with a junkyard unit. You can see where it used to have the front plate bracket. I got it from a junkyard in New Jersey, already paint matched, so that's just for temporary, so it was better than the cracked up and load it with Bondo one that came on the car. The headlights are another new set because one of the chrome rings around the blinker fell off on the replacements I put on. You can see, I didn't have these wheels in the last video. I purchased 18-inch AMG wheels. They would be equivalent to what would come on an E55 AMG. They're very, very dirty, but you kind of can get the idea. Another thing I've done, which I actually just wrapped up this morning, was installing facelift mirrors. So I got these from a 2007 E350 in the junkyard. That was the same color as my car, so I got lucky there. Dimming mirror works, everything's good. Haven't done too much. Unfortunately, I had the car on the factory jack and it let loose and dented and scratched and chipped up the clear coat and cracked the side skirt there and buggered all that up. So unfortunately that happened. And then up here, unfortunately, I had a run-in with a mailbox, and I basically cried when this happened. It's very deep damage, but eventually I'll do something about it when I have more funds to do so. Here I was backed into someone at a Sam's Club parking lot, unfortunately. Some bad news. There's been some messed up things that have happened to the car since getting it. Coming around to the rear, the window tint was really bad. It bubbled up from the South Carolina sun. So I started taking it off, but it still has some remnants that need to come off there. I did realign the trunk. This alignment, this was sticking out on this edge here more. I had to fix the trunk alignment. It now has a muffler delete with quad exhaust tips. It's not the best job. You can see a clamp holding on the one tip there. I have plans for it that I'll go over later in this video. So that's a look at the back. I've changed. Obviously, I live in South Carolina now based off the plate. I changed to a facelifted rear trunk panel. So this part here was replaced with that same junkyard E350 that I got the mirrors from. So that was just done. And if you see damage to this rear bumper here, all the spider cracking and crease, damage there. And to the corner of that taillight, I was unfortunately rear-ended at a traffic light while visiting New Jersey. I was at a stop, and a lady in a Ford Escape did not stop and rear-ended me. It hasn't been repaired yet, but I have the funds to do so, and I'll talk about that later in this video, what I have for the plans. Passenger side, no damages to report on this side, luckily. See again another shot of those 18-inch AMG wheels. And then again, we'll look at the facelift mirrors. Oh, another thing that was done is this trim on both sides that runs over the roof. The clear coat was gone on my car, but the junkyard E350 was still good. So I went ahead and got that and just replaced that this morning. Come around to this side again, take a look. I do plan on replacing the grille with the one with the black instead of the silver in the inserts, so it'll still have the chrome but black where these inserts are there. For the bumper, it's not perfect. You can see right there it has some damage. I got it for cheap from a junkyard. My plan is to find a used E55 AMG bumper to swap onto the car. And I'll continue to explain that here. I have side skirts from a junkyard E55 AMG that they need work. They need some repair, but I'll get them fixed at a body shop when I do the next thing, which is an E55 AMG rear bumper, which I also got from that same E55 in the junkyard. It is currently black, and I have plans to have it painted to match the car along with the side skirts. And then I also, from the same car, got a full E55 AMG exhaust, but I'll only be using the portion with the mufflers, as I'll be having an X-pipe installed, or H-pipe rather, I should say, an H-pipe installed in place of the resonator. And then for the mufflers, it will have the factory E55 mufflers coming out of the E55 bumper, which should be really nice. And then potentially down the road, either get these wheels refinished because they are a little banged up. I purchased them that way, or source newer model E63 wheels, which I haven't decided. I do like the E55 style wheels. So the next clip is I will show some of the interior and what I've done there. Excuse the mess. So stepping into the interior, I'm not really going to sit down in the car. I'm just going to kind of go over a few things. All the trim in the center console has been replaced. You'll notice no airmatic buttons. What I forgot to mention is that on all four corners, I now have standard E320 coil suspension. I did away with the airmatic because I was having countless issues and spent thousands of dollars on repairs. So I had to I redone the trim set, the kind of the way I had the other ones, to eliminate the buttons because I didn't want blank buttons. I put an updated shift knob in the car. Unfortunately, since the last video, this seat did let go here, and this plastic did let go. I'm currently trying to source a brand new seat bottom, as well as all the plastics, and eventually I'd like to source a new door panel. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find a blue interior parts car yet, so that's hopefully going to come down the road. But everything else in the interior is pretty much as it was. I did replace all the trim except for the door panels for the wood. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, we have the gauge cluster. I swapped in the silver trim, so it has a more updated and a more sporty look. And we are currently sitting at 198,653 miles, so considerably more miles. It's been a great car. It's never left me stranded. I've enjoyed it very much. Just kind of look at the back seat. Not much has changed back here. A little bit more wear on the seat. I put a case of water in the back seat, and unfortunately it did some damage to the leather. I'm hoping a steamer may bring that out. I'm pretty sad it happened, but not much I could do. I'll look at the trunk. Not much has changed here except for the exterior, where I did that facelift panel. I did add this net. I got it out of another car and cut the carpeting and installed that net so whatever you have there won't go rolling around in your stuff. And I did replace this faulty handle. It was stuck like that when you'd pull it. It didn't recoil, and I got lucky. In the junkyard car that I got it from, it was a 06 E350. It had the key sticking in the lock, so I have the key that goes to this lock that I can have on my key ring, so I'll never be without key, which is very, very handy. I'll just show you. Can see the air suspension delete went well. It sits very nice standard looking ride height, not too high, not too low. I wouldn't mind it a little lower, but is what it is. There's a look at the passenger side. Again, the carpets need cleaned. I'm a lot busier than I was when I first got this car. I have a lot more going on, so And it's not my daily driver anymore. I've driven it a total of probably 550 miles in the year of 2024 thus far. And I'm recording this in June, whatever day. Let's see. I think it's about June 10th of 2024. And I've only driven it 500 and something miles this year. So there is some a change under the hood. So I'll pop the hood and I'll come back when the hood is popped. Pop the hood now. Easy to do with one hand. So here's where a change occurred. Now I get it's very dirty under the hood. It needs to be cleaned. It needs valve cover gaskets as well. But if you look here, this is an air box. These are the original tubes, but this is an air box setup that I had to pivot the, the tubes and everything, but I fit it from a 2003 or 2004, I'm sorry, E55 AMG. It's merely cosmetics. Now, some you may say, well, it looks worse with that on there, but I don't know. I think it's a sporty look. I don't know. Maybe if you cleaned this up a little bit more, which I plan on doing in the future, but I got an oil leak. The valve cover gaskets are leaking, unfortunately. So that's something I will get to someday in the near future. I did attempt to replace the AC compressor, and the known good part turned out to be a known bad part. Well, me finding out that it was a bad part. So I did all that labor myself for nothing. It was squealing, so it's back with a bypass belt on it now. So I don't know if you can see down there. There is no belt on the AC compressor. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. No belt on the AC compressor. So no AC currently, but like I said, I don't daily drive this car, so I'm not overly concerned with that. But I will say, step back a couple feet and see a little bit less of the dirtiness. It looks cool with the AMG air boxes. I would like to get the front piece, but it was missing from that car, like the beauty plate that'll cover that stuff up. I haven't gotten that far yet, but that is to come. So I'm going to close up the hood, and I guess we'll do a little conclusion. All right, so this was a little bit of a walk-around tour of the current state of my 2003 E500 that I've had, I believe, since October 2021. So it will be 3 years this October. So as you can see, I've done some improvements. I'm currently working on it. Like I said, I did a lot of work just in the last couple days. I started a new career driving trucks, so I have more money coming in now. So, I'd like to see that body kit on, the different exhausts, and maybe get some of the paint issues here and there worked out. But, so I'll recap a few things I want to do. I'd like to do a full E55 AMG body kit, partial E55 AMG exhaust, potentially change or refurbish the wheels, replace the grille with the black and chrome style. And let's see, eventually fix the air conditioning, valve cover gaskets, and potentially some other things, some other maintenance items. Of course, the breather covers on the engine that goes along with the valve cover gaskets. Oh, and another thing is the fuel sending unit, because I do have some issue when you take a road trip with the fuel gauge going all the way to empty when it has plenty of fuel, and then you restart it and it's back where it should be. So I think the sending unit and the filter, that whole assembly I'm going to end up changing is, kind of like a mileage thing. The filter and everything should have been changed. I've done spark plugs and wires, tons of suspension work. It actually turns out that the driver's rear had a major bent control arm. It was the one that kind of goes like a fork from the previous owner. Must have whacked a curb or something, so I got that taken care of. Basically, I've spent, there's countless other things I can't think of. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands on maintenance on this car. But do I regret it one bit? No. I absolutely love this car. I don't know that I'll ever sell it. It's probably one of those cars that, unless something terrible happened to it. I don't mean just maybe the engine blows up. I mean something like a tree falls on it. I don't see myself giving this car up. It's special. It's got a feeling that newer Mercedes, they don't give me. Like with the career that I'm going into now, I could easily dump this for a certified pre-owned, or like, you know, a used like 212 E63 or something like that. It'll no problem to afford something like that. But maybe I'll get something in addition. I'm thinking about maybe getting something from Copart to do like a little like rebuild series on YouTube, and actually make videos again on my off time. But for now, like I said, I don't think this car is going anywhere. It's been an amazing car for me. It's never left me stranded. It's needed a lot of maintenance, but I've done a lot of elective stuff like EGR. I think it was the EGR valve and stuff like that. Like things that are like, you know, it was messed up, but you could still drive it. Somebody disconnected a line on it or something like that. It was fine, but I did it because I wanted everything to be, you know, more tip-top than that. Another thing that has to go that I'm noticing as I'm walking around is that little grandpa concave little mirror thing. That's got to come off. I just don't want to break the glass doing it. I have to get some like fishing line or something like that. But yeah, I guess I'm going to end the video here with, you know, after listing my plans and everything for the future. And stay tuned to the channel. I'm sure I'll probably have some more videos coming soon. All right, take care. Thanks for watching.